Welcome back, guys, to Let's Talk with Tiff. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode. I also want to remind you guys to go ahead and please like and subscribe to my channel. Together we are building a community. So let's jump into the topic. As promised, last episode, I taught you guys and I helped you to understand what it means to have a mind, the unconscious that operates inside of our mind. Now, today's episode, we're going to focus on learning and understanding what it means to live and walk by the Spirit. Keep last episode in mind. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, go ahead and watch that first because it will help you to really understand what I mean when I say we have two operating systems, okay? So to walk by the Spirit, let's break it down. First, we need to understand some of the qualities. So learning the Spirit, we know right off the bat, the Spirit, we are spirits first. It's willing. The Spirit is always willing. And so because we know that the Spirit is willing, we also know that the Spirit walks in truth. So if the Spirit walks in truth, then we know honesty. That's our default of the Spirit. It's very uncomfortable once you live and walk by Spirit, which you are willing, to function from a place of inauthenticity. Okay, so you will want to be in truth and you will want to be honest. And pay attention to your relationships because it's absolutely going to reflect there. Now, the Spirit I love because it's looking for connection through Spirit. Again, back to relationships. I've always, with people, I will help them to see that everything you need to know about yourself and how you operate, watch, look out for how you treat others, especially in your relationships. Okay, this is going to tell you everything you need to know. So we know willingness, walking in truth, being honest, having connection. It's looking for it. Spirit is helpful. Okay, so it's looking to help others. It's looking to see, it pays attention. There's awareness in the Spirit, you guys. So it's helpful. It's vulnerable, which plays right into the truth piece and right into living in honesty. So vulnerability in Spirit, it doesn't feel necessarily uncomfortable. It can be difficult at first if this is something foreign and new to you. However, as you build, just like going to the gym, you build your muscles, right? It's like we have this little spiritual muscle in us. We build our ability to be vulnerable through Spirit. Okay, so in the beginning, it may feel kind of awkward. It may feel a little bit uncomfortable or very even, depends how much do you live by mind. So to counteract that, and walk by Spirit where you're willing and there's vulnerability in Spirit, which is all leading to truth. That's where it's going. You'll build that muscle. So if you're living by mind and you've had a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, and you've taken all the mind has to offer you to self-cope, self-soothe, right? And live through defense mechanism, pay attention. Your ability to be vulnerable and walk by Spirit, I definitely think that it could equally be as uncomfortable to get there. So vulnerable. The Spirit is intentional. Okay, so what do I mean by that? To be intentional is to have purpose. You're able to make decisions in the Spirit. There's none of this real gray area. And why? Why is that? Why is the Spirit intentional? Because we get our support, our strength from our Creator. So to walk by Spirit and be intentional with our decisions that we make, God is there to support us when we're on the path and we're in surrender, which I'm going to get into. So Spirit walks with intention. In all that it does, it's intentional with what it says. However, have awareness there because even when it's intentional with what it says, It doesn't speak to others with intention to be hurtful, though. No, it doesn't do that. It's intentional with its message, but it always speaks from a place of compassion and a place of empathy. So remember that. The spirit is a good listener. The mind loves to give back feedback. Well, try this and do this, and you should have said that and do that. It loves to do that. The spirit is quite calm. And because it is calm, it's a very good listener to whoever needs that support. Sometimes people, humans, we don't always want advice necessarily in certain moments. We may just need a good listener. So the spirit, when you come in your relationship with whoever it is, they need you. You can offer them, if you listen from a place of spirit, good listening. You will have from spirit 100% effort. The spirit gives 100% effort. I really want you to take that in because behavior is huge with mind. Okay? And it will look for shortcuts. It's going to constantly look for maybe this little easy way over here, or maybe tomorrow. You might hear that one a lot. But with spirit, it looks and strives for 100% effort. And here's the thing about spirit. Your spirit knows when you're giving it 100% effort. Why? We're back to God again, because God supports you. And where God supports you, you are not relying on your own self, your own strength. You're tapping in to the creator of the universe to support you and help you and give you strength. Which the result, if tapping in with all of yourself, every part of your being to God, what you will get back is 100% effort if you go there. So it's always willing to give 100%. If you find yourself giving 50%, you're not operating from spirit. There's nothing in between here. This is what I love about the spirit, because there's no gray area. You're either in or you're out. You're either doing it or you're not. Like, if you live in the gray and you're like, well, I gave like 50% today, I gave 60% today. Well, the truth is you're not operating from your spirit, okay? With prayer and asking God for help, you are able to achieve 100% effort. Know that. Now, the spirit is it's hardworking, very hardworking. It has the ability from within to work hard. The kind that you might tell yourself if you operate from your mind, I can't do that. I'm tired. No more. I'm exhausted. I don't want to. Okay, if you operate from your mind, you will have conversations with yourself exactly like that. However, if you operate from spirit and you are tapping into a place with God, God will meet you in this space where He will match your efforts. God will match your efforts. So where you're giving all of yourself, He's going to match it. And this is where you begin to work really hard. You tap into places where you're like, oh my goodness, I quit like way back there, but I kept going. And why is that? God's helping you. That's why. Your spirit is very hardworking. There's no excuses there. It desires solution for the greater good of everyone involved. Whatever the circumstances, spirit will always desire solution for the greater good of the situation and all those involved. So remember that. It's never looking for the last word, ever. It doesn't necessarily even want to be right. Being right is not even anything. When you walk in truth, in consciousness with God, it's not about right or wrong. It's about truth. That's it. And you lead with compassion. You lead with love. Empathy. So you're not here to prove points in the spirit, ever. It's just about desiring solution for the greater good of all those involved and the circumstance. And of course, selflessness is in the spirit, okay? And this is big because it's obvious that when the human condition, right, the default, which we've talked about in the last episode, it doesn't require anything. You don't even have to do any work. You just get your default. Okay, and every day you wake up and you run on autopilot and it's like you don't have to do any work. That's what you get. And if you pay attention the default part of it is to be self-centered. Everything operates around the self, right in here in the mind. The spirit is opposite of that, okay? It's going to operate from a place of selflessness. So it's constantly looking to consider others, not the self, not you, not all this, not poor me, not look at what I have, not I need more time, not you don't understand me. No, it actually operates from a place of being selfless. So you're looking to help, like I mentioned. You're looking to be there for whoever needs you. And here's the thing, you guys. Don't be surprised if in your selflessness, as you discover it, this is going to fight you. So like today, I'm going to give you an example. I told my mom, it's really hot outside, by the way, that I would help her. I'm going to help you, Mom. I said, I'm going to wash the windows. That's not fun at all, okay? It's not fun. It's hard labor. It's hot. And, I got out there, I put on my little shorts, and I began to remove all the screens, scrub the windows, and I had to pray and I had to ask God. God, I said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it, but I love my mom and I want to help my mom. So I can actually witness the battle inside my mind where it's going to start, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun. It's going to be hard. I'm going to get wet. All the things that come with it, okay? But I know in my heart, I'm operating from a place of spirit that I love my mom and I want to help my mom. So this isn't about me. This is about her. My mom is older now. And so, I try to help her as much as I can, especially when it comes to something like that, where I don't want her climbing on a ladder. That's weird, okay? My mom's like older and I'm the one that should be climbing on the ladder. So selflessness is what the spirit desires. It's what it's looking for inside. It connects there from a place of being selfless. Now, I do want to touch, because I don't believe we can really talk about spirit unless we touch on the fruits of the spirit. Okay? So just quickly here, you've probably heard them, but now keep in mind, because this is something that I have reflected on, okay, for myself, and now I want to share it with you. When you think of the fruits of the Spirit, I'm going to name them. First, we have love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. All of these things are operating inside of your spirit. This is spiritual. So going back to understanding willingness, I feel at the core of spirit, you have to have the willingness component. Willingness for love, willingness for joy, willingness for peace, willingness for patience, willingness for kindness, willingness for goodness, willingness for faithfulness, willingness for gentleness, and willingness for self-control. So everything, if you notice, is centering in the fruits of the Spirit and all the other things that I named before: being willing, walking in truth, honest, connection, helpful, vulnerable, intentional, good listener, 100% effort, hardworking, desires solution for the greater good, and selflessness. Keep all these things, hold them here, right? Hold them inside of you, and then understand that we have two operating systems. So be empowered, you guys, by the fact that we have two operating systems. When God designed his creation, he gave us the ability to choose. He did, and it's good. It's very good. It's not just a little bit good, it's excellent. Okay, God's creation is excellent, how he designed it. So he gave us two operating systems, and you be empowered by the choice you have inside. So you can either run on the default and just blend in, have everything in your life just blend and bleed together with zero awareness, or you can live intentionally and walk by the Spirit with all of these things I just named, and you do it from a place of willingness, okay? So we are empowered by choice. Everything when you learn consciousness and truth comes down to choice. It honestly does. And I want to say this. I always feel, and my sister and I have kind of made jokes about this because it's so true. When you're faced with the next situation, the next test, the next lesson, the next whatever it is, because it's coming for you, that's a guarantee. You'll get about maybe 3 seconds of grace to make a different choice. So old Tiffany or old you would have maybe said this or would have done this, right? But now, because you are willing and you choose with God, you're doing the work. Okay, you went back, faced the truth in your life. And when I say the truth, yes, you will have addressed your pain, your trauma, all that's happened. But what's even more important is to look at yourself through a place of self-awareness with God, with Creator, and observe and understand who you are, how you treat others, what you talk like, how you think, how you feel, what are your emotions? Are you ran by your emotions? You have to be able to look at yourself. That's facing yourself. Take responsibility for who you are when you get angry. Who are you? Do you even know? Like you have to look at yourself, and we cannot do that with ourselves. We have to invite God, Creator. He has to help us, you guys. So with God by our side, we're able to look at the self and see through self-awareness where we fall short. Our shortcomings, you've probably heard that term before. So God will help you to look at yourself and observe and witness who you are in addition to all of your pain and trauma. You're facing it all. Okay? And then you be empowered. The next time something comes for you, the situation, the circumstance, the test, the lesson, because God will, something's coming. That's how we learn. Okay? We will be tested. You get about 3 seconds of God's grace to make a different choice before you say the thing, before you do the thing. And when you make a conscious choice, well, now this is you're like rewiring your entire brain chemistry. You made a different choice. You didn't just go, boom, I'm angry, or I'm going to react right now, or whatever the emotion is that floods you. I really think we all have like our kind of go-to emotion when life goes down. And so pay attention to that. Do you even know your go-to emotion? And so you'll get about 3 seconds to make a different choice. And every time you choose differently as you do this work with God and you lead and walk by the Spirit where you are willing, this part of you, your consciousness, your place from within gets stronger. You are building this muscle from within, which leads me to my next point, okay? So you're like, maybe, okay, all of this is boiling down to choice, right? We get a choice on how we want to operate, spirit or mind. Through this, how do we get there? Everything begins at a place of surrender, okay? Without surrender happening with you inside, putting the self down, okay? Turning your life, like really take this in because it's a big deal. Turning your life over to God. This is a place where you open up and you let God in. It's like okay to surrender. It's okay to tell God, I don't know what I'm doing, God. Like, I don't know the answers here. And I feel like I can't seem to get my life together. Whatever it is that you face, I don't know. And it's going to probably look way more emotional than what I'm saying right now. When we surrender, we usually do it because we are exhausted and we are desperate and we've maxed out on all of the different ways that we've been thinking our way through problem solving in our life. So we have exhausted ourselves from within. We go to God, and for some of us, it may be, is there even a God? Hello, God. And yes, there is a God. He will come for you. And it is through something called surrender. When you actually let God know, I'm tired now. I'm tired and I'm turning it over to you. Not just the situation, This is more than that, you guys. Surrender is truly about turning your life over. God doesn't want to just help you with one situation. He wants to be involved in your life with you very close because he loves you and all he wants to do is help you. So to turn your life over is when, okay, now I can get started. That's like where God's like, I'm coming in, and so surrender is where you start, but we can't even really talk about surrender without discussing faith, trust, and belief. All these 4 things, surrender, faith, trust, and belief in God, Creator, they're extremely important. You will not get very far in walking by the Spirit in willingness without these things. Okay, so now you understand, you guys, the mind. Go back and watch that episode if you missed it. And here's the thing though, I mentioned fruits of the Spirit, right? Next time you're faced with something, pay attention to how you respond or react. Are fruits of the Spirit coming out of you? Because we have a choice. Remember what I said, God has designed his creation with choice. Or are we reacting through self-copings, defense mechanisms of the mind? So life is coming. We know that. It's on its way. And all you have to do is wake up and go out into the world. Pay attention next time you're faced with something, whatever it is, and see where you operate from. What is your, if you can, see what your natural state of reaction is, response is. I can tell you right now, I don't care who you are. If you are like the most spiritual being on the planet, we all have a mind. And it is right there, ready to go. Even if you're the most spiritual human on the planet, okay? So surrendered up, it's not even funny. Yesterday's surrender and all the work you did with God and every day before that, it's over. It doesn't matter anymore. You're in today. And in today requires fresh surrender. So this is a every single day process. Okay, you continue to surrender, you continue to go deeper with God, building your faith, growing your faith, trusting him, believing in him, even in order to tap into the fruits of the Spirit, in order to tap into these qualities and these traits that I've shared with you. Otherwise, the default is right there. It's just there, waiting. No work required. All you got to do is get out of bed, get ready for the day, don't pray, just go to work, get in the car, drive, and go into your day. It's right there. The mind is like, okay, let's do this. I'm here to make you more unconscious. That's basically what it's doing. And so you have to be very intentional with your mornings, with your day, how you wake up, inviting God into your space first before you leave. I do it right when I wake up. I go get my coffee and I go right into the prayer room with God. And you know what? I dive right in. And we go over all of it, you guys. And that's part of the surrender piece, Every single day you have to have fresh surrender with God because it's a new day. It's a new day, which means the unconscious, it's ready to go and it's ready to attack and make you more unconscious, more on autopilot, in the default. We think that this world, I'm so busy, I don't have time, right? No, you need to make time. If you say out there that you don't have time to pray, I'm so busy in the morning because I have, maybe you're a business owner, maybe you have kids even, right? They need you. Well, maybe you have to get to school like me. I have to go to school. I'm a commuter. I really got to go, right? And maybe you do too. Well, these are all like excuses, by the way. The mind will tell you anything to stop you from carving out that morning time with God. I would not dare. I've done this before and it's not worth it. I learned my lesson. I would not dare ever again start my day without carving out my morning time with God. Because I know the default's right there. I don't have to do anything for that. I do have to wake up and put effort and work and new fresh surrender into spirit with God in the heart. Lead with the heart. lead with love? Where do you think it comes from, you guys? So you have to carve out this time. We have to get honest about what happened the day before. We have to be intentional with what kind of day we're going to have today. Because even when you pray and you carve out your time with God, it's still coming for you, just so you know. Okay, this does not make you exempt from having hardship or life. What it does is makes you stronger from within to find an unwavering peace. So life is going to happen and you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. I have God. Okay, I have God. He's supporting me. And so something goes down, but you know where to go. You know where to connect from within. And so does it mean that whatever's happening isn't hurting, isn't hard? No, it does not mean that. It's there, it's happening, it's hurting, and it's hard. However, you're walking through it with a sense of peace, okay? And you're doing it with God. He's in it with you. He promises to never leave us, and that's true. So when you can operate like that, from peace, from surrender, through spirit with God, this is spiritual maturity. This is where there's growth, okay? And if you want to get all like sciencey, yes, you are changing your brain chemistry. Absolutely. You're rewiring how the prefrontal cortex is going to operate. If you don't have space from within, it's ready to just fire in emotion and just boom, there it is. But through space, we need space by connecting with God. He creates that space with us in order to function out there in the world. So there's a lot of ways to spin this one. We can get sciencey, we can get spiritual, we can look at it from a place of mind. That's spiritual too. I've talked about that. And, there's a lot of ways to look at it. It just depends on what lens you want to put. However, they are all connected, all of them. So remember that. And so that's what I wanted to teach you guys today, is to empower you to really understand that you have a choice. God created humans with choice. Okay, we get a choice in how we want to react and respond and do life with humans, other people, family, friends, or strangers, and with ourselves. We get a choice. So be empowered by that and remember these things next time life's coming, because it's on its way. The next thing is already ready to go. And it doesn't mean that you, now that you walk with God and you're in spirit, that you're just exempt or this shouldn't be happening to me. I did this, I prayed, I put God in my life, I gave him my life, I opened my heart to him. Honestly, now you're just learning how to live. Once you give your life to God and you let him in your heart, he teaches us actually how to live, how to lead with love, how to lead with compassion, how to be calm, how to not react, how to process, how to communicate, right? Communication is big, and the spirit knows how to communicate. The mind does not know how to communicate. The mind it can easily argue. It looks to hold position, okay? And the spirit doesn't do any of those things. So I do encourage you guys. I'm going to get into that though. So our next episode, we got to talk about it in more detail. We need to talk about surrender. We need to talk about faith, trust, and belief in God, because these are the things that are going to open you up inside in order to lead and walk by the Spirit with God. So all of it's connected. And I do thank you so much for joining me for another episode. I love recording these for you guys. I hope you're getting a lot out of them. I also want to remind you all to please like and subscribe to my channel. We are building a community here, and I appreciate all of the support that you guys give. So thank you so much, and I will be back with more. Thanks, guys.